You can choose to remain poor, but you cannot choose not to be angry. Welcome to section 3 of chapter 21 of the Holy Quran. Section 3 begins with sign 30. Namshi. أو لم لم يرى الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كان رتقا فقد فقد فقدتكناهما. Do not the unbelievers, alazina kafaru, see that the heaven and the earth were joined together into brackets as one unit of creation, brackets close, before we clove them asunder, before we close them together. فَكَنَكْنَاهُمَا فَكَنَكْنَاهُمَا We clove them together. Before we clove them together, فَكَنَكْنَاهُمَا. There is a commentary to read, but we haven't finished this sign yet. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ أو كل شيء وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. أفلا تعقلون. Let me join it together. أفلا تعقلون. We made from water every living thing. وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء. And we made from water every living thing. Will they not then believe? أفلا تعقلون. I suppose. Yes, أفلا يؤمنون. أفلا يؤمنون. Will they not then believe? أفلا تعقلون. Maybe you don't understand. Will they not then believe? أفلا يؤمنون. So, two pieces of information at once, at least two. That the skies and the earth were actually together before God put them asunder, one. And that human beings, every living thing, is made up of water. Won't we believe it? The scientists have proven it. Yes. If you take a sperm drop, you place it, or if it drops on the floor, you look at it, it can be heaped as much as anything, not only sperm blood, phlegm, sperm, anything that, milk, anything that you can think of. Okay, let's say phlegm and sperm, they come from human being. They drop, pop, and it's not level, it is raised up. But before long, you see that it gets flat. It's made of water. All the water is gone. And what is left is nothing, but there are still molecules of water in them. So, afala yu'minun, will they not understand? Commentary 2090. The evolution of the ordered worlds as we see them is hinted at, full stop. As man's intellectual gaze over the physical world expands, he sees more and more how unity is the dominating note in God's wonderful universe. Full stop. Taking the solar system alone, we know that the maximum intensity of the sun sunspots is hyphenated. Sunspots corresponds with the maximum intensity of magnetic storms on the Earth. Full stop. The universal law of gravitation seems to bind all mass together. Physical facts point to the throwing off of planets from vast quantities of diffuse nebular matter, of which the central condensed core is a sun. It's a sun. I think here is trying to, the commentator wants to tell us how the earth sky and the earth were together and were split asunder. I think so. That was note 2690 to sign 30. Um, we go to sign 31. وجعلنا في الأرض وراسي أن تميد بهم and we have set on the earth mountains standing firm. وجعلنا في الأرض رواسي mountain أن تميد بهم standing firm. There is a commentary to read, but we have to finish the whole sign first. In fact, two commentaries, two and one commentary. وجعلنا فيها فجاجا سبلا لعلهم يهتدون mountain standing firm lest it should shake with them, lest the earth should shake with them. And tamuda bihim, lest it should shake with them. And tamida bihim. And we have made therein broad ways, into brackets, between mountains, broad ways between mountains, into brackets, between mountains, for them to pass through. وَجَعَلْنَا فِيهَا فِجَاجًا سُبُلًا, broad ways, فِجَاجًا سُبُلًا, broad ways, سُبُلًا, ways, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, for them to pass through, that they may find their way. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, that they might find their way. We made for them broad ways for them to pass through. فِجَاجًا سُبُلًا لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, for that they may find their way. We go to the commentaries, 2692 and 2693. 2692 first. Compare chapter 16, XVI, sign 15, and note 2038. That 2038, that's the corresponding note. Lest it should shake with them. That's the explanation coming. Here, them refers back to thee, both in inverted, double inverted commas. There, them in double inverted commas, and they in double inverted commas. And the commentator tells us, here, them refers back to thee at the end of the preceding verse, meaning unbelievers. I see, I made a mistake, meaning unbelievers. So I thought it was the mountains. Do we go back to the main lesson to read? to the main verse or to the main sign. Uh, we have set on earth mountains standing firm, lest it should shake with them. Mm, lest it should shake with the unbelievers. Lest it should shake with the unbelievers. That's what this commentary is telling us. Lest it should shake with the unbelievers. And we have made therein broad ways. So, uh, and the previous verse, sign 31 is, will they not then understand? So it is these two words that the commentator is talking about. Will they then not understand? They is reflected in this note, 922092. And then them in sign 31 is also reflected in the note. And it refers to the unbelievers. It might be it might be mankind in general, but the pointed address to those but the pointed address to those who do not realize and understand God's mercies is appropriate. My battery is still is appropriate to drive home to them the fact that it is God's well ordered providence that protects them normally from, from cataclysms like earthquakes, but that they could, for their iniquities, be destroyed in an instant, as the Ad and the Thamud were destroyed before them. Ad and Thamud were destroyed before them. Full stop. As pointed out in note 2691, 2691 above, if the surface of the earth were leveled up, it would all be underwater. I see. And therefore, the firm mountains are a further source of security of life which has evolved in terrestrial forms, full stop. Though the mountains may seem impassable barriers, yet God's providence has provided broad passes between them to afford highways for human communications. Mm. Communications means we can use them as broadways to various places to travel. That's to for human uh, for human communications. Uh, uh, we go to the next second comment, second note, and that's 2696. In both the literal and the figurative sense, it's against they may find their way. They may find their way. And it says here, the commentator says here, in both the literal and the figurative sense, full stop. Literally, these natural mountain highways direct men in the way they should go. Figuratively, these wonderful instances of God's providence should turn men's thoughts to the true guidance of God in life. The true guidance of God in life. That is commentary 2693 to sign 31. We now go to sign 32. مم. وجعلنا السماء سقفا وجعلنا السماء سقفا محفوظا سقفا محفوظا. And we have made the heavens as a canopy, well guarded, well guarded. Mm. And we've made the heavens as a canopy, well guarded. Mufuzan is well guarded. Mm. Safkan, canopy, a canopy, Safkan, a canopy, Mufuzan, well guarded. Wahum an ayatina muridun. Wahum an ayatina muridun. Yet do they turn away from the signs which these things point to. Point to is in brackets. Mm. Signs which these things point to. Commentary 2694. Or no, 2694. Canopy, Safan. Mm. Sakfan, canopy, Sakfan. Mm. Canopy well guarded. Safkan, Sakfan, Mafuzan. Mm. Column. The heavens form a canopy that is secure from falling down. You look up, you see the stars. In the night, you see the stars. And then we have the moons and whatnot, and they don't fall down. Mm. So that's the canopy. Mm. That is secure from falling down. Column. They also form a sublime spectacle and a mystery that man can only faintly reach. Reach. Compare also chapter XV 17, that's 15, chapter 17, chapter 15, sign 17. I believe 15 is Surah Bani Israel. Mm. Compare 15, chapter 15, sign 17. And that was note 2694 to sign 32. We are now going to sign 33. Mm. وهو الذي خلق الليل والنهار. It is he who created the night and the day. والشمس والقمر. And the sun and the moon. والشمس والقمر. And the sun and the moon. كل في فلك يسبحون. كل في فلك يسبحون. كل في فلك كل في فلك يسبحون. All swim along, each in its rounded course. All swim along, each in its rounded form. كل في فلك يسبحون. There is brackets there. All into brackets the celestial bodies. All into brackets the celestial bodies swim along, each in its rounded course. في فلك يسبحون. Sign 2695. 2695. I've indicated, unlike most translators, the metaphor of swimming implied in the original words, how beautiful it is to contemplate the heavenly bodies swimming through space, into brackets, or ether, or ether. Ether is spelled E-T-H-E-R, brackets close, or ether, in their rounded courses before our gaze. In their rounded courses before our gaze. We go to sign 34. وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد. We granted not to any man before thee min qablika permanent life, al hulka, permanent life. We granted not to any man before thee min qablika, before thee, permanent life. Al hulda, sorry, al hulda, al hulda, not hulka. وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد. أفأين ميت فهم الخالدين. أفأين ميت فهم الخالدون. أفأين ميت فهم الخالدين or خالدون, sorry, فهم الخالدون. If thou should die, would they live permanently? If thou should die, would they live permanently? أفأين مِنْتَ فهم خالدون. Commentary 2696. 2696. Life on this planet without death has not been granted to any man. The taunt of the unbelievers at the Holy Prophet was therefore futile. Could any of them live without death at some time or another? At some time or other? At some time or other? Question mark. Could they name anyone who did? Could they name any man who did, i.e., who did live without dying? We now go to the next sign, 35. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. This is a common saying amongst Muslims. Every soul shall have a taste of death. كل نفس, every soul, ذائقة الموت. الموت, sorry, ذائقة الموت. Every soul shall have a taste of death. There's commentary against that, but we'll finish the whole sign first. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. And we test you, نَبْلُوكُمْ, be shared by evil and by good by way of trial, sharing by evil, hiring by good, fitnatan by way of trial. وإلينا ترجعون وإلينا ترجعون. Let me go through the whole thing. Every soul shall have a taste of death, and we test you by evil and by good, by way of trial. To us must ye return. To us, who are us? God. To us must ye return. Mm. Okay, commentary 2697. Tasting of death by every soul. 2697. Compare chapter 3, sign 185 and note 491. The soul does not die, but when it separates from the body at, at the death of the body, the soul gets a taste of death. Mm. So what? As I will taste, you have a taste of death. Mm. The body dies, but then the soul would be in the body before that body dies, and that is tasting of death. Wonderful, wonderful. Because we know the soul does not die. Quran doesn't make a mistake. Mm. And you see, interpreters have been able to, you know, siphon this. Every soul shall taste death, in that the body dies while the soul is still in the body, but while the soul is still in it, but gets out at that point. So that's tasting of death. This is a wonderful uh, interpretation. Mm. uh, in our life of probation on the earth, our virtue and faith are tested. Uh, where am I? In our life of probation on this earth, our virtue and faith are tested by many things. Colon. Some are tested by calamities. Some are tested by calamities, and some by the good things of this life. If we prove our true metal, metal is mettle. If we prove our true metal, we pass our probation with success. Full stop. In any case, all must return to God, and then will will our life be appraised at the true value. Then will our life be appraised at the true value. Value. That was commentary 2697 to sign, and 2697 to sign 15 to sign 35. Mm. We now go to sign 36. We now go to sign 36. وإذ وإذ راك وإذ راك الذين كفروا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا. They treat you only as ridicule. They ridicule you. Okay, let's go. When the unbelievers see thee, what is ra'aka? When they see you, thee. Alazina kafaru, the unbelievers. Mm, unbelievers. In Arabic, I always say that it's not, it's usually the verse comes before the noun. Mm, simple. So when the unbelievers see thee, in yatahizunaka illa huzwan, they treat thee not except with ridicule. Huzwan, huzwan, ridicule. Mm, illa huzwan, illa huzwan. Ahaza, ahaza allazina yazkuruna alihatakum. Mm, وهذا الذين وهذا إلا هزوان sorry إلا هزوان sorry full stop أهذا الذين يذكروا يذكروا آلهتكم uh, is this into brackets they say is this and they say أهذا الذين كفروا sorry الذين يذكرون آلهة is in double inverted commas and then followed by DC in brackets. Is this DC the one who talks of your gods? Allazina yaskuru Allazina yaskuru alihatakum your gods. Yaskuruna talk about who talks of your gods. Alihatakum. That's what they say to each other. That's what they say. Is this they say? Wahum, wahum yaskuri arhamani, hum kafiru. Wahum, yes, wahum. Sorry, wahum bizikri arhamani, wahum bizikri arhamani, hum kafiru. Wahum bizikri arhamani, hum kafirun. And then they blaspheme at the mention of the most gracious. Zikri, mention, Ar-Rahman, of the most gracious. Kafirun, blaspheme. Kafirun, blaspheme. And that was sign 36. Let's go to the commentary. There is one note of commentary, and that is 2:6. And that is 2698. 2698 commentary. To the godly man, the issue between false worship and true worship is a very serious matter. To the skeptics, and unbelievers, it is only a joke. A serious matter for the godly and a joke to the skeptics and unbelievers. It's only a joke. They take it lightly and laugh at the godly man. Full stop. They not only laugh at him, but they blaspheme when the name of the one true God is mentioned. Full stop. The reply to this is in the next verse. The reply to this is in the next verse, and that verse is verse 37. Unfortunately, we shall do the next verse in inverted commas of mine. We shall do the next verse in our next episode. And so when we come back, we'll stop here. When we come back next time, we shall go to Psalm 37 of section 3 of chapter 21 of the Holy Quran. Thank you very much. Bye bye. May God be with you all.